afternoon. This is Crystal with Blessings at Home. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm going to continue in the series of our curriculum for 2016-2017. Today I'm going to be going over our grammar. So just a quick background for the last, how many years? At least 4 years. We have been consistently using Easy Grammar with our 3 older children. So our daughter, who is now in 5th grade, so it's been 3 years, I guess. She's been using it since 2nd grade. And so I'm familiar. So with all of their levels, they start in 2nd grade and they go all the way, I think they technically go all the way up to high school, like all the way up to 12th grade. But once they hit like 8th grade, 9th grade, it's more of like little daily grams, like little daily review worksheets on grammar and punctuation and capitalization and where you put all your parts of speech and all of that. In the younger grades, it definitely is more teaching those things, whereas in our experience with the older grades, it's just like a review. So now, after saying that, we've used Easy Grammar consistently across the board. This year, we kind of have a collection of a couple of different things. I'll start with my 8th grader. He did he started Easy Grammar with Easy Grammar 4, and so he's worked through level 4, 5, 6, and then the Easy Grammar Plus, which is, I think, technically for like 7th through 12th grade. And so this year, I felt that we needed some more instruction for grammar. Just we really struggled with where do commas go and what gets quotation marks and whatnot. Not because I think Easy Grammar is lacking in that, but just, you know, some children just need a little extra review. So for him this year, I did put him in the Abeka Grammar and Composition 1. I believe technically this might be a 6th or a 7th grade course. But it was just what we needed. And I am not an Abeka user, but we have been very thankful for this year. And it's been pretty easy for him to do independently. So it goes over the instructions of what they're going to be doing. It gives them exercises that they do. And so he just kind of reads this part. And sometimes I'll read it to him out loud if I think that, you know, I really need to make sure that he is getting a good grasp of this. And then he goes on and does the work by himself. So we are almost done with this. We've got maybe 4 weeks left. So I will probably go ahead. My plan going into next year is we'll probably go back to Easy Grammar, just grab some of whatever it is for 9th or 10th grade and continue on, just have some review, because I want my focus next year to be, and in the going years in the high school, our focus is really going to be literature based and not necessarily grammar skills. So this is the Easy Grammar book. They are all set up the same way. They just are different colors. So, and they go through they go through sections. So the very beginning, they start with, I believe, prepositions. So the way the Easy Grammar teaches you first right off the bat is to, before you do anything else, is to cross out your prepositional phrases. So at the beginning of each book, they have the list of prepositions. And it's my understanding that the list, it might grow with each year. So this is in our 5th grade book. This is the preposition list in our 6th grade book. And they did have them in every book that we've used, with the exception of the 2nd grade Easy Grammar workbook. So the first chapter is through prepositions, and then they move on to verbs, and then they move on to nouns, and they go anywhere from simple review of nouns to, is it common, is it proper? They get into determiners, they get into possessive, and then there's always a review section at the end of each one. I apologize, this child's been in a cast for quite a while, so her handwriting is a little wild. And then there's always a cumulative review at the end of each chapter, which goes over what they have gone through from the very beginning of the book until now. So lots of review. I'm really thankful for that. We really enjoy it. Anyway, and then we move on from nouns into adjectives, and then into adverbs, and then pronouns, and then I believe direct objects, indirect objects, things like that. And then at the very end is sentence type. So that's kind of where they review interrogative sentences, exclamatory, interrogative, imperative, and declarative. Sorry, I was forgetting. What's the one that's telling you stuff? And then it reviews punctuation and capitalization. So that is at the very end of every book. So that's kind of the sequence that they go through. And they all have followed that same pattern, with the exception of the second grade book. It is mainly just about capitalization, learning what we capitalize, what we don't capitalize, and then just basic punctuation, punctuating at the end of sentences. I don't even know that the second grade book gets into commas and things like that. It's been so long since we've used it that I can't quite remember. But very independent workbooks. I only grab my teacher book when I need to check it. And the teacher books, just really quick, I should have grabbed one, but the teacher book, so one side of it is the answer page, and the other side is an exact replica of the student page, and it is blank. So if you only wanted to purchase the teacher book, and you didn't want to get a student workbook, you can absolutely make the program work without it. You can make copies. You are allowed to make copies of it, or you can have them just write in it, but you would have to cover up the answer side of the page. So the student workbooks are $10.95. So for me, it wasn't, it was worth the investment to go ahead and just get a student workbook for every one of my children. And then the teacher books are a little more. I want to say they're $25. And you can decide if you need them. I use them a lot more in the higher grade than I did when in the lower grade, just because I don't have time to think through all of that. So anyway, along with the Easy Grammar series, there is another series called Daily Grams, and it says that they are guided review aiding toward mastery skills. That's what Grams. Guided review aiding mastery skills. So those come in grades 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then one for junior and senior high. And then here is, on the back, it tells you the other series. That's what I was talking about for your high schoolers. The Easy Grammar Ultimate series is what it's called. And those are for grades 8 through 12. They are 10-minute daily teaching lessons, 180 lessons, one per day. And it uses clinical learning to enhance mastery. And it goes through reviews capitalization, punctuation, grammar usage and concepts, and then sentence combining for improved quality of writing. And it says student workbooks are available. Oh, they have assessment books available as well, and student workbooks as well. So there's also a program called Easy Writing. It's how to write higher level sentences. I have not used it, but it is available out there. But the reason I think that we have stuck with this program and that it's been so successful is that the kids can do it independent apart from me. So there's a page. So like here's an instruction page, linking verbs. And for the most part, my children have done really well at, sometimes I have to write really, really big and like highlight it and point arrows, like read this, because they might see, oh, linking verbs, oh, I've done that. But I really do think it's important for them to go through and read through and review, because a lot of times I know if they haven't, because they might come to a problem and go, hey, Mom, I don't know how to do this. And I'll say, did you read your instruction page? And they'll say no. And I'll say, go back and do it. And then they don't have any problem. So they're very student-led, and children can do them pretty independently. I would say from grade 3 or 4 and up. The third graders still need, it just depends on your child. Third graders, in my experience, have needed, a little extra help reading through the instruction pages. So My second graders, though, this year we did not use Easy Grammar with them. I already had this little grammar book called Grammar Minutes, and I did get it at Rainbow Resource. It was $12.95. I actually bought it for them when they were in first grade, and we didn't get around to using it. So I was trying to be a good steward of what we already had, and so we just used this year, and it's been great. They're just little. I think there's enough for the whole year. No, how many minutes are there? I want to say 100 minutes. And so I just made little copies. And so from the very beginning, it starts off just putting things in alphabetical order. And then we go into, is our sentence making a complete thought? And then we move on to combining sentences together. And they're really, really simple. Really easy. So this book covers sentence structure, capital letters, punctuation, common nouns, proper nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, nouns, and verb agreement, contractions, compound words, synonyms, antonyms, articles, and more. It says Grammar Minutes, Grade 1. Is this Grade 1? Oh, it is Grade 1. I've been using it for my second graders. That's okay. Each features 100 minutes. Each minute consists of 10 grammar questions for students to complete within a short time period. This unique format offers students an ongoing opportunity to improve their own grammar proficiency in a manageable, non-threatening manner. I will say these lessons have been very, very easy to do. They've been very, very quick and easy for me to implement. I just pick go run over, make a couple copies at the beginning of the week. They have a little grammar folder. One side is for the pages that they need to do still, and the other side is for the pages that they've already completed. And it just says this is a grade 1. I did buy it next year, but I really don't teach grammar in first grade. So second grade is normally when I start. And really, this has been perfect for them because they can read the directions. And again, they can do it independently. Apart from me, I really don't have to do a lot of teaching. And they're getting it and they're understanding it. So next year, I do plan on moving them. They'll move right into Easy Grammar along with our other children. So, I think that's it. So, Easy Grammar, I will say, is just amazing. It works great for all kinds of learning styles, whether you've got dyslexia kids or kiddos that are behind a little bit or ahead a little bit, whatever. I think it works great for anyone. Before Easy Grammar was kind of that thing that I could never find what worked for us. We used Rod and Staff the most before Easy Grammar, and that was great, but it was so much writing, and our oldest is a boy, and for moms of boys, kids just hate to write. And then, let's see, we used Christian Light Education, and those were workbooks, and those were great as well. Very consistent and along the same lines with like Abeka Learning, and that there was diagramming sentences. Very rigorous program. We used it as well, but I think those are the two that we used most before kind of landing on Easy Grammar, and it's been such a blessing for our family. So if anyone has any questions specifically about the program, about Easy Grammar, or about any of the other grammar programs that I mentioned that we've used, just feel free to comment below, and I will answer those as quickly as I can. And yeah, so that's it. There's what we've used this year, and I really like the way it's worked out this year, but I think moving into next year, pretty consistently, everyone will be back on with Easy Grammar. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that everyone is having a great weekend, and we'll see you later. Bye.